It did not dawn on me that I did not tell you guys exactly when to expect the 2026 RAM TRX. Is it going to come as soon as the summertime? Is it coming sometime in 2026? Is it not coming at all? When will the 2026 production actually start for the RAM TRX? And I actually have an answer because me and TK's Garage been sitting on information about a month. We just never told you guys exactly when you're going to see it. So that's what we're talking about this video right here is when you're going to see the RAM TRX and how much horsepower I think it's going to have. So let's get right into it right now. Okay, well, over 43,000 friends and the 72% of you guys who keep watching these videos but not subscribe, help a butter out and try to reach my first milestone of 50,000 subscribers. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button, and let's go off the gate. And I'm gonna tell you exactly when you're gonna see the RAM TRX for 2026. Now, you are gonna see the RAM TRX. We're gonna get right into this in Q1 of 2026. So the TRX will not launch at the end of the summertime when RAM switches over to the 2026 model year. Now, I don't know exactly why this is. Maybe it's because that the previous generation TRX was on a previous architecture, and then everybody knows that RAM moved to the next generation of trucks that basically dropped all the Hemis out of their lineup and basically went with Pentastars and Hurricanes. And it's supposed to go with electrical drivetrains, but the EV drivetrains got pushed out. So now they got to go between one architecture to the new one. And as far as I can tell from people telling me in the UAW that they got the architecture to work on the 5.7 Hemi, but so far there is 0 TRX mules getting built at the production plant. So right now at the summer shutdown, you're probably going to hear Tim Knissis tell you sometime on June 8th when they do his big reveal that yes, the Hemis come back to RAM, and then they're going to basically put the 5.7 Hemi back into the trucks. And from what the UAW is telling me is that they're running 5.7 Hemi mules with the e-torque system on them. So every truck that they've seen so far that they told me about has been 5.7 e-torque RAM trucks. So that's as far as I know with production, because TK did a video just the other day where he showed you this other little graphic where it tell you that there's Hemi pilot vehicles and there's REPBs, which basically is the Ram Charger. I can't believe Ram's still using that goofy name, that range extended paradigm breaker in their system for the Ram Charger. But that's basically what that graphic was that TK showed in his video. What the UAW is telling me, there's no TRX mules getting built right now. So basically that telling me that they're not going to offer it right there at the summertime when they actually switch over to the 2026 model year. This document right here basically tells you that it's going to be Q1 for 2026 for the RAM TRX. And like I said, that makes sense to me because no one in the UAW has told me whether or not there's any Hellcat engines sitting at the plant, and there's no mules getting built at the plant as well too. So that's a good sign to me that yes, it's going to be a while until they start getting into production for the TRX. I'm hoping that they are pushing the TRX back 6 months because they're trying to make the TRX either have more horsepower and no problems, or they're trying to make sure it looks different from the RHO, because that's going to be the one thing that I don't like about the RHO and the TRX when it comes out, is that those trucks will look literally exactly the same. So how you gonna tell the difference between an RHO and a TRX other than just a badge that's gonna be really on the actual bed, right? Or I think the badge on the door. Is there a badge on the door? I couldn't remember because I used to own a TRX. You can see my key right here. This is one of my favorite vehicles I ever owned. I would love to get another one. But yeah, there's really gonna be no way to tell the difference between a RAM TRX and a RAM RHO, because if you really think about it, the only badge that you're going to be able to be on each vehicle, if you don't get the little what is that, the little package where you can get the script on the actual size of the bed, you're only going to have one badge on the actual tailgate to tell you the difference between both of them. So hopefully RAM in the background is doing some little styling changes to better make the TRX look different. And so I'm hoping that Ram's going to basically try to look and see what Ford has done with the Raptor R and do some upgrades and take inspiration from Ford. The Raptor R is 720 horsepower. I'll get into the horsepower part in a second. And also front of factory offers 37-inch tall tires. So I hope that RAM is going to basically go in and offer 37s front of factory on the TRX. You know, give it a little bit, you know, more ways to be differentiate. I'm trying to say that word, but apparently my English ain't working. But make the RAM TRX more different from the RHO. So I'm hoping that maybe a bigger wheel and tire package, maybe some different looks to either the front end or whatever, just kind of make these trucks look a little bit different. Because like I said, you can have a D-badge RHO and everyone can think you're a TRX. That's not something that I particularly like. I'm hoping that that's the reason why they're pushing the TRX back a few months to get styling changes out of the way. So that's that point that I want to get out of the way, that I'm hoping that this is the reason why, either because they're trying to get the actual supercharged engine to work on the new architecture, or maybe it's because they're trying to make the truck look different from the RHO. Now, the third part I want to raise is actual horsepower. Now, from the documentation that I've seen, I have not seen one piece of document yet that tells me that there's going to be any different engine in the TRX other than the regular 6.2 liter standard output supercharged engine. So the regular 72 horsepower engine. Now, me personally, I don't see Tim Kuniskis is going to launch the TRX with less horsepower than a Raptor R. Now, I don't think there's no way possible he is going to basically launch a TRX and is going to get beat by a Raptor R. I'm going to say it's not in his DNA. I'm thinking, I just don't know how much horsepower exactly it's going to be, because no one has really told me how much horsepower it is. Maybe that's still being worked on. But I'm hoping what Stellantis is going to do, or really Ram's going to do, is that they're going to basically use probably one of the stage kits from Direct Connection, throw it on the TRX, and give it that horsepower. Because technically, we all know that the Hellcat engine in the TRX is the same one that's in the Challenger and the Charger vehicles, right? So if they use one of the stage kits, don't do the stupid little controller that's getting on everyone's nerves, from what I've been reading on the little Direct Connection group. If they just use the stage kits to where they basically just change the thermostat out, changing the air filter out, and changing the pulley, if they use that, then they can take the horsepower from 702 all the way up to 757 horsepower. Now, more than likely, because it's a TRX with this intake that's robbing horsepower, some people don't understand that the reason why the TRX only had 702 horsepower compared to 707 is because of the intake, and not because they tuned it down, but because they couldn't make that much power because of the intake, because it has to guard against stand and all this stuff, right? So I'm thinking that maybe you might have like a 702 horsepower, well, not 702, but 752 horsepower, or maybe 740. So they might just tune it down just to have more horsepower than the Raptor R. But I'm thinking they're going to use a smaller pulley on the regular Hellcat block, put it in the TRX, and it will have more power than the Raptor R. I know a lot of people would love to see a Redeye version of the TRX, or me personally, a Demon 170 version of the TRX that has E85 in there so I can use cheaper fuel. But as far as I know, I have not seen any documentation that says that that's going to happen. Now, it could happen in the future, because nothing to say that Dodge won't, or not Dodge, I keep saying Dodge, but nothing to say that Ram won't make a more powerful version of the TRX. It probably won't happen at launch. Typically, when they launch vehicles, they don't give you the most powerful version right there year one. So could we see a more powerful TRX in year 2 or year 3 when they have like more money under the belt and to see how sales with TRX is doing? I can see that happening. I can definitely see that happening. It's going to take time, but you guys got to remember, Carlos Tavares literally just got fired in December. And so basically around January, February, they started going like, yeah, we're going to bring the TRX back. And then the summertime is literally here within like a month. So there's not really a lot of time to go and get a TRX, develop the power chiller, all that stuff for the truck, or put E85 rail on it and do all that testing and stuff before production starts. So to me personally, I think at the bare minimum, we're going to see a 700, maybe 50 horsepower TRX, basically a stage kit, with basically just a smaller pulley on there to give it more power than the Raptor R. We're going to see a Q1, because that's what the document tells me, in Q1 2026. And I'm thinking it's probably going to have right around the same price that it had when it went out in 2024. So I don't see it having a price drop, especially because I've seen the pricing on the Ram 1500 Express. The Ram 1500 Express is not really that impressive price wise, and I would have thought that truck would have been maybe 5 to 10 grand cheaper. But because I'm seeing that right there, not that cheap, and then Stellantis basically intentionally jacked up the TRX price because they wanted to slot a cheaper truck underneath it. That's why the RHO basically exists. Honestly, they slot that truck in underneath the TRX at the same exact price that TRX was when it first came into production. So now the TRX can't go down to that price range because the RHO doesn't even need to exist. My RAM Express video, I don't see them lowering the price of none of the trucks that dramatically because they got to keep the truck prices high in order to bring in, in order to bring in the Ram Dakota or whatever that mid-size truck is going to be to fill in that $30,000 slot. So I think the TRX is still going to be decently expensive. I fully don't agree with it, but I understand why they're doing it. The only reason why it's so high because the cost of Veris jacked the prices up. The TRX is, to me, honestly, like literally every truck in Ram's line should be at least $5,000 to $10,000 cheaper. So I don't know exactly what the base price is. I have not seen pricing, but I'm pretty sure that when it comes out, I'm going to basically say the same thing. That should be probably like $5,000 to $10,000 cheaper. That's basically what every truck in Ram's lineup is. The employee price for all tells you exactly the same thing, that every truck in their lineup is about $5,000 to $10,000 more expensive than what it should be. I'm definitely going to keep digging for Ram TRX information because, like I said, the TRX is one of my most favorite vehicles that I've ever owned, and I would love to get one. But if it's too expensive, I would rather just go buy a 2021 through maybe a 2022 or 2023 Ram TRX, one of those early models, because they don't have a lot of that new Uconnect 5 nonsense. Like 2021 probably the year TRX I would buy. I had that year. It got the old version Uconnect on there. It had the regular analog gauge cluster, so it's basically a bare bones version of the same exact truck with all the extra stuff in there that I'm not even gonna mess with. So that's basically what I'm thinking. And so let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Are you excited for the 2026 Ram TRX coming back in Q1? So you got plenty of time, basically several months to save up money. But my thing is, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys feel the same way, if it costs too much, would you buy it? Or would you go and find another TRX, the first generation TRX between 2021 and 2024? Because the new one is just way too expensive and literally the same vehicle with not a very big horsepower bump. Or are you going to stay in your 2021 or 2024 TRX because they don't put a Redeye engine in there? So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. And if you want to watch this video right here, it basically tells you why I believe that there should be a Ram TRX with a Redeye or a Demon 170 engine in it. You go check that video out right there. And until the next time, I'm out.